If you have nothing to hide, why wouldn't you want to come out? It makes me feel like they know something.
Warning, this video is going to be highly intense, very disturbing. I just have to throw that out there. Get ready for this video, y'all. Go get your snacks.
I just started off in your world.
So there's this lady, you know, she dropped her kid off and she went to go meet her ex. Now I need y'all to stay with me because this is about to get dark real quick. When she went to go visit her ex, she disappeared. Like no one could find her. The cameras showed her visiting him at this restaurant, and then they argued. The ex-boyfriend left, she stayed there for like 3 hours. The bartender told her to leave because she was causing verbal disturbance. When she left there, she went back to the ex's apartment building, and I guess while she was on the phone, they probably talked, or while she was in the car, they probably talked, and she went to his house. The camera showed her parking her car, and then she was running. Like she was in this rush, running back and forth, pacing, making phone calls back and forth around this apartment building. So the police said, okay, nothing seems off about her. Like she seems like normal, perfectly fine. But when people was watching her, they noticed that she seemed like drunk. She seemed like she was swaying back and forth, like something was up. It had to be intense because she made 9 phone calls during the midst of all of this. Somebody came up and spoke and said when they was walking past the elevator, they seen her crying. Something was definitely up. And during the midst of the 9 phone calls, she called her ex 5 times, and then the rest was her friends. But when she walked away from that camera, she was never seen again. That car was still at the apartment complex. She never left with the car. Now this personally had me thinking, if she disappeared, she never left with the car, somebody had to take her. If nobody took her, she left with somebody. It's either one of the two. What was even more strange is that when she parked her car, it was close to the intersection. She didn't park it at a parking lot, meaning she wanted to just park her car real quick, do what she had to do at the apartment complex for a couple of seconds, maybe minutes, and leave, because you can get a ticket. So I wonder what was going on. If only we could hear what was going on that phone call. Now she's missing. She wouldn't just run away and abandon her child because she had a son, as her parents said. And it said her behavior was extremely not normal than her usual behavior. Now look at this. I want to just throw this out here. A conspiracy theory. When the mom disappears, the father comes in the son's life and wants the son. The father was never in the son's life apparently and never paid child support, nothing like that. Now the father wants his child, but got denied. So the theory is, right, if the ex didn't do nothing, or if something never really happened by them apartment complex, well, something did happen because she disappeared there. The father set it all up, as what people were saying, just to get his son back and pay the ex loads of money so Prisma could get in touch with her ex and they can, I don't know, that sounds retarded. But that was one of the conspiracy theories I seen in the comment section. So we stuck with theories, of course. I don't know if y'all understand, but when people just disappear like this, it absolutely blows my damn mind.
Do you think she was abducted by a stranger? Somebody that she knows? What?
In the video though, the surveillance video, you can see her looking back, almost like someone was chasing her, but we can't be for sure.
I just don't see how, and I've said it before, how somebody can just disappear like smoke in the wind.
She comes over here, she's on the phone.
These are the last images of her. Her stepfather says just before she disappeared, she was calling a bunch of people she knew.
She was confused. She didn't know where she was. She didn't know what was going on. She thought she was talking to one person, but she was actually talking to somebody else.
Broad daylight, apartment complex full of people, but yet she just still managed.
She parks right there. It looks like an alleyway,
Yeah.
but it is a street, and she's blocking it.
Where her ex-boyfriend that she was having lunch with lives.
She runs through the gate, and then she goes to stand by the elevator.
This is where she calls a bunch of people.
We spoke to everybody on her phone records list that she called leading up to her disappearance. All of them tell us that she sounds upset.
Some new footage was just released. Apparently this place has a huge parking garage. And it shows her running and stumbling in this parking garage.
There's a camera on this side pointing down this ramp, but she walks underneath it.
It is hard to see, but you can tell it's Prisma in her red shirt back in the garage.
She kind of stumbles out of view of the cameras. Nothing else is captured, and then she just disappears off the face of the earth.
Yes.
We all know, now let's be honest, we all know that these parking garages is scary. That's why people like to do a lot of pranks at these garages. Like a lot of pranks. Movies at these garages. Horror movies specifically. And they even got movies of people getting kidnapped in parking garages. A lot. So parking garages, like, I even made a video not too long ago. Remember the girl walking with the guy? They walked in the parking garage, something happened to her, she vanished, but her body was found. Parking garages is a scary place.
She had felt like she had been being followed, like she was being stalked.
Police say they have ruled out everyone she talked to that day as suspects, including her ex-boyfriend. She has never used her phone or debit cards after that day. So what do they think happened?
But yet we still don't know what happened because it's not cameras every single where around the building. But we have to remember she never got in her car. So she really had to just walk away for some reason, maybe running from someone, or someone really took her. Or she willingly just said, okay, I'm gonna go with this person, whatever person she went with. It's so much things that could have happened. It's so much.
It could be human trafficking. She stumbled and met the wrong person. When you leave that complex, if she walks a couple of blocks in either direction, she could have ended up in an area where it wasn't the safest for her.
I really want to know what y'all think have happened though. I really do. All right, so like I said, people that vanish blows my mind. I want y'all to pay attention to this little girl named Sandra. She disappeared, but there's this neighbor that put cameras around his house for obvious reasons. When they checked the camera, they noticed this girl walking. Little girl, she's walking. She was walking on her way home until something captures her eye to the right. So she's walking straight, then she turns right and leaves and goes towards that direction. There's a couple of questions. What caused her to turn right like that and not just go straight home? Psst, come here. Why is she not back yet? And for those who wondering, she was leaving from her friend's house right across the street, and she was, you know, going back home. Now there's this man, he's an ice cream driver. Y'all know how ice cream drivers roll the neighborhood, and they question him. And there was really no evidence on him, so he went back to doing whatever it is he do. So then a lot of thinking started to happen. 2 years ago, before her disappearance, Sandra and her family, they was at this pool in the neighborhood, and they noticed this man was talking to her, becoming overly friendly with her. And so they think to themselves, this man, who is this man? Because he ended up kissing her on the lips in front of everybody. Now 2 years later, she disappeared. So they asked him, you know what happened to Sandra? Because he's still in the neighborhood. He said, no. So you know they bring up what happened 2 years ago. He said he was just being playful. Nothing out of the ordinary. We were just playing around. They cleared him after talking with him and they let him go.
She was snatched straight off the street and made to endure horrible things. Then her body was stuffed in a suitcase and dumped in a river.
See, this is, oh my gosh, my eyes are getting red. All right, so and I got the goosebumps. When you find out information, like you just like, because you can't trust nobody. All right, so there's this other neighbor, and I'm not saying it's her. Like, hold on, let me backtrack. I'm not saying it's her. It's just. All right, they had this candle lit thing for the young girl. You know, when people disappear or when somebody dies. And at this place, a letter came to one of the neighbors' house. It was this lady who Sandra knows. And you see how this letter is? You see how it was written? Almost like a kid wrote it. Well, during this candle lit place, the neighbor comes running, distraught, saying how she just got this letter. Now, why my eyes is red, because what if she has the kid? And I know how crazy that sounds, but this just a theory. And I only get these theories from the comments, because the comments, y'all are smart. Because it's like you got this letter out of nowhere. Why is the letter at the neighbor's house and not at the family house? Did you force her to write it? But you know, this is just theories. Remember, the police even looked at her into suspicious. So now look at this. They did some investigation. The police searched the car and they seen this little note.
We noticed that there was some scribbled handwriting.
Scribbled words. And you saw how the other note that came out of nowhere, it had water on it. It had the word Bachetti Road on there. Bachetti Road is the street. And it had another word called Whitehill Road on there. The same exact word scribbled out in her car that was on that letter that apparently just appeared at her door. I don't know, but it seemed like somebody was just practicing writing these words in baby form. I mean, not baby form, kid form. I don't know. It's a little bit weird to me. They searched her house and under the dresser was a notebook, and it was the same type of paper that was found that came out of nowhere and appeared to her house. They even had indents on the paper that mimicked what was written on that note. Okay, y'all, at this point, she done it. She wrote in that notebook to make it seem like the kid wrote it. She was the one setting it all up. It was her. As some time went past, there was the suitcase found in the water. Of course, it was Sandra. She was drugged. She passed away. Police instantly goes back to the neighbor's house, the girl, and she was hospitalized because she tried to swallow a lot of razors. So they couldn't speak with her just yet. So something was very much up with this neighbor. And like, why would y'all, like, why would you even want to do this to a little girl like that? Like, look at her last moments enjoying life. She's skipping. Little did she know that this was going to be the last day she breathes on earth and last time seeing her mom. Now, of course, that suitcase belongs to Melissa. A witness saw a lady at that same ditch, parked this black car around that ditch, and asked her, "Are you okay?" She had dark hair. She said, "Yeah, I'm okay, I'm fine." How this witness described the car is the same exact way how Melissa's car looks. What was used to end her life was a rolling pin. They found it, and they found DNA on it, and some red stuff on it. Listen to this. Melissa decides to come forward with her story. She said, "She was over by my house, playing with my daughter. Us three decided to play hide and go seek. The young girl, Sandra, decided to hide in the suitcase and zip herself up. I forgot she was in there. I took my suitcase. I went to the church because she teach at a church. And when she opened the suitcase, when she was at this church, she realized that Sandra was still in the suitcase and it was too late. So she panicked and of course put it in the water. How is she gonna be able to get in the suitcase and zip it up? That don't make sense. Also, how you didn't realize how heavy the suitcase was. When the little girl was walking from her house playing with the daughter, she called her over.
Sandra, come on over here with me. Come here. You want to help me decorate the church? Sure. Okay, come on, let's get in.
They got in the car and they went to the church because the lady works at a church. As they was at this church, she gave her a juice. But in this juice, she put something in it. She set the juice on the table and told her to drink up.
Yeah, drink it all up.
Little girl, without knowing, drunk it. And she just looked at her as she was drinking it, waiting for it to kick in. When it finally kicked in and the girl closed her eye, it was time. Time for what? Time for the neighbor to murder the girl, Sandra. And that's what really happened that following day. Alright, this is the end of the video. I'm about to end it. I'm really mad because she was real close to coming home. Look how close she was. She was right there. And I'm just pissed off. This is why I really don't trust people like that already. Like, if I don't know you like that, my child is not coming by you at all. It's just... because this really be having me thinking, like it really does. This whole entire video from that to this. Yeah, y'all enjoy y'all time. You know, I'm gonna try to end this video off with a smile. I love y'all.
Yeah, I just skirted off in your whip. Yeah, I just skirted off with your bitch.